Hello, my subjects, and welcome back to my channel. Give me a moment to fix my hair real quick. By fix, I mean mess it up. Nope. Perfect. Crown. Now, I was, minding my business. This is important to the video. This is important to the topic of the video. I was minding my business, walking around, until something, just hit me. Out. I grew up on three. Was it three? Somewhat. Three very famous cartoons of the 1980s? 1980s, I think. And the two very famous. The third one, I don't know how famous it is. Not the point. I'll talk about the third one later. So this is where I was reminded about the third one. I was like, I grew up on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I grew up on Looney Tunes. What other cartoon did I grow up on? And then I started hearing it. You see, I was somehow around by cable TV. I think cable TV. Was it cable TV? Something was airing the one, the only Woody the Woodpecker. And I'm here to talk about him. And what happened to him. So, not a lot. I don't know how famous Woody the Woodpecker is compared to every other cartoon of Woody Woodpecker's era. What I do know, however, is he is old. As old as Looney Tunes itself. Maybe even older? I don't know, though. I don't know. I don't do research. If you want, the history on Woody the Woodpecker, this is not the channel for you. Because I don't know how to do that. Not the point. Woody the Woodpecker was an old cartoon that I think aired on Universal. From the limited research I've done on Woody the Woodpecker, which is Universal Pictures owns Woody. But I don't necessarily know if they've owned him from the start or if some other company owned him and then Universal just kind of swooped on in and just picked it up, because that happens a lot. A great example of this is what's happening over at WB, where it's being sold off or has been sold off. I don't know. I don't keep track of real world events. Who do you think I am? Who keeps up with the news? Not me. I like to stay as far away from the real world as much as possible because I know if I take one step in there, I'm gonna be traumatized. Anywho, not the point of this video. The point of this video is Woody the Woodpecker has gotten it the worst when it comes to cartoon characters. He has been given the Looney Tunes treatment of you will never see him in another show, you will only see him in movies. While Looney Tunes had it a lot more better with a lot more reboots, which some people have heard of, other people have not. For example, do you know what Baby Tunes is? Do you know what what's the word? Tiny Toons is? Do you know what's another reboot that? Do you know of the Max original show that? I don't know if it's still going on or not, but I'm assuming it's not. Do you know about this other Looney Tunes show where the frog guy, the one that goes, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my right-hand gal," is the villain of the show. I'm not joking, by the way. He was the villain for at least one season. I don't remember why. Not the point. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Bugs Bunny was the main character. That's all I remember. Not the point. Focus. Woody the Woodpecker has gotten a little worse because, for one, as far as I know, Woody the Woodpecker only had one show. His show was never necessarily rebooted nor reused. I could be wrong though. He could have gotten Looney Tunes treatment where it's like Tiny Toons, boom, or like Tiny Woodpecker, or boom, Baby Woodpecker, or something around those lines. Excuse me for a moment, I need water. I tend to yap a lot. I tend to talk a lot. Because I tend to talk to myself a lot, so my throat gets to like... Not the point. Can't do focus. It's fine. Alright. So, basically, I think Woody the Woodpecker has gotten worse. A little bit worse. For one, he's been relegated as nothing more than kids' cartoon. Which, to be fair, has happened to Looney Tunes as well, kind of. But I think the difference between Looney Tunes and Woody the Woodpecker is Looney Tunes have had a lot more on-screen appearance. Woody the Woodpecker has had limited on-screen appearance from what I remember. A lot of his shows didn't air on TV. A lot of his episodes didn't air on TV. Now, his movies are seen as nothing more than, kid slop. The first movie, give me a moment, it wouldn't be a King Anthony video if I wasn't interrupted. Food. I'm not gonna eat it right now, it's too warm. Anyway, that's the point. While I do agree that the first movie was good, kind of, for a kid's movie, the second movie, I wouldn't say I hate it. I wouldn't say I love it either, so there's that. There have been, officially, 2 live-action Woody the Woodpeckers. Woody the Woodpecker movies. Compare that to Looney Tunes and Mickey Mouse, I guess. Because, you know, at least Looney Tunes isn't called Bugs Bunny. I'm just saying. Looney Tunes is a lot more humble. Sorry. Compared to Mickey Mouse and obviously Looney Tunes, who have had... I don't think Mickey Mouse actually has any live-action movies, from what I know. However, movies in general, and shows in general, Looney Tunes and Mickey Mouse obviously outrun Woody the Woodpecker. Not the point. I think Woody the Woodpecker has been kind of like sidelined. Again, kind of like the cartoons of our days are no longer as famous or cared about or loved at all. Throwing Woody Woodpecker in the same boat and even chopping block as Looney Tunes and Mickey Mouse himself. I mean, when's the last time you've heard of any popular Mickey Mouse show this year? When's, other than Coyote versus Acme, well, and of course, the day the world exploded, what else did Looney Tunes get talked about? What movies were canceled, which weren't? Not the point. All this to say is, cartoon media itself is slowly just whittling away. Anywho, that's kind of depressing. Anywho, Woody Woodpecker. I don't remember a lot of the stuff I watched about him, but I did watch a lot of it. That's for sure. Woody the Woodpecker. There isn't a lot to talk about Woody the Woodpecker. One of my favorite cartoon characters, again. I have a lot of favorite cartoon characters, alright? If I had to pick one, it'd be probably someone from the Looney Tunes. Mostly because they're a lot more slapstick and funny. But Woody comes in very close. But, again, I think Woody has gotten it the worst than most other toons have in general. To be fair, though, I think as the years go on... Now, this may be me just coping, but what if old cartoon media started to rise up? Okay, no. Listen. So, 2026 will go by, and 2027, right, that's 2 years. Counting this year, right? Then after 2027, kids realize, old cartoons were I can't curse yet, not the point. Were the S word, right? They realize, old cartoons, they're funny, they're hilarious, they're great. Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny putting a carrot at the end of the barrel of a gun, and then the gun exploding in front of someone's face. Hilarious, funny. Piano falling from the sky. Random cartoon character standing there. I got you now. Masterclass, masterpiece. 2028. Old cartoon skyrocket. They skyrocket. And then WB, or whoever owns WB by the end of 2028, or by the start of 2028, makes a new Looney Tunes show. I'm not finished. That thing soars up into the air, gets famous, gets them a lot of money. They realize, we need to make more of this stuff. They give us more Looney Tunes content. Disney, Universal sees this, and they're like, okay, it's time to bring our old cartoon characters back to life. They dig up, because by 2028, we'll have flying cars, and Mickey Mouse and Woody the Woodpecker have probably already been buried. Not the point. Same with Bugs Bunny. But WB was the first to dig up their old cartoon character. Not the point. They're like, okay, time to bring them back. They realize cartoon characters are missed by many. They're loved by many and hated by few. And that's the cartoon era, where cartoon characters finally not only just come back, but are forever back. More movies, more shows, and they're all masterpieces. I know I'm kind of delusional, but hey, let me pray. Let me hope. Let me wish upon a star. Alright? I know that seems a little optimistic, but it can happen. Okay? Trust me. If not by 2028, then by 2029. And if not by 2029, then by 2030. And if not by 2030, this is just gonna continue going and going and going. Matter of fact, it might not even be 2028. Maybe 2027. Or matter of fact, right here, right now, 2026. August 28th, Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. We show them that we not only love cartoon characters, cartoon movies, cartoon shows, but kids also love them as well. Revolution. No, you don't understand, right? I feel like an old man. A couple days ago, sisters, little ones, I wear a Looney Tunes shirt because I have a Looney Tunes shirt. I have a Looney Tunes shirt, right? One of them points at Porky Pig and calls them Sylvester. Now, to be fair, they are small. Not the point. They don't know about the original Looney Tunes, obviously. They're very young. I'm surprised I even grew up on it. I'm surprised I genuinely even know about the old Looney Tunes show. Back when certain tune was a lot less controversial? What would the word be? Under fire? Dead and buried? I'm talking about a certain skunk. Not the point. Way back then. Before Twitter was a thing. Actually, how long did Twitter? Actually, no, never mind. Before YouTube was a thing. Because I know YouTube was created 2009? I don't know. Beats me. Not the point. All this to say is, Woody the Woodpecker has, and still is alive to this day. Somehow, some way, shape, and form. To be fair, most toon characters are still somehow alive and brought back from the dead. Anywho, my point being is that Woody the Woodpecker was a great show, and there's nowhere you can watch it. I don't think, anyway. I've checked streaming service. Only one. I'll check others after this video. Wish me luck, I guess. Other than that, though, don't forget cartoons of the past. We're the only kinds of, we as a society are the only, especially people my age and older, are the only people that are keeping cartoons alive and know what a cartoon is. Because, like, I remember watching this YouTube short where a kid was like, what's a cartoon? What's a Looney Tunes? Oh, no. Are cartoons so old to the point where I'm considered a grandpa? Please. I know I'm not that old, but the fact that I grew up on something that was made in the 1980s, you know, at least some time beforehand or after, whatever. Am I old? Maybe that's why I have back problems. Not the point. Not focus. So yeah, that was just me talking about Woody the Woodpecker. Again, there isn't necessarily a lot to talk about when it comes to Woody. Unless he's been in some controversy, in which case, I don't know if he has or has not. I just know he has had 2 live-action movies. One in 2019, I believe, and another one in 2025 or 4. Or was it 3? I can't remember anymore. And, yeah. And of course he's had his original run in 1980 something or 1970s, somewhere around that time period. Anywho, not the point. That's me talking about Woody the Woodpecker. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, and or night. I'll see y'all whenever I'm done hibernating. Goodbye, my subjects. Peace. I'm sorry if there wasn't necessarily a lot to talk about Woody the Woodpecker. If you're a Woody Woodpecker fan, more than I am, I'm more of a Woody Woodpecker fan than I am. I'm sorry if I couldn't, live up to his hype or, talk about him enough in this video. Other than that, goodbye, my subjects. See y'all soon.